It's Paco.
Hello, Paco.
That's it. That's what I wanted to hear. The voice of my childhood. How you doing, Rob?
Yeah, you know, I am living a dream, baby. I'm thrilled to death. The opportunity to do Animaniacs again with Mr. Spielberg and my buddies is a total privilege for which I've worked very hard. And now I get to hang out with Paco Navarro. Dude, I won the lottery.
My man. Well, first off, I want to congratulate you for beating throat cancer. I mean, that in itself is just a major feat. And man, kudos to you for not only defeating it, but getting back on the voice acting wagon and doing this for everybody.
Well, thank you. As I said earlier, I have worked really hard for the privilege of being in this position. You know, as they say, we make plans and God laughs. And the story isn't so much that I had throat cancer. The story is precisely what you said, is that because I've had this incredibly wonderful gig over the years, there are many people who are aware of these characters. And we never know, Paco, as a result of this nice opportunity you've given me, when somebody will say, oh, my God, I know every character this guy's ever done. I love Carl Weezer. I love Pinky. And the guy had throat cancer. My dad was just diagnosed. Hey, Dad, you got to hear this guy. He's back doing this again with Steven Spielberg, and nobody can tell the difference. Dad, we can do this. And that's the story. So, as they say, not only have I had a silver lining, Paco, it's a platinum lining, precisely because of the type of cancer I had and my job. So thank you very much, my friend. It means a lot that you would bring that up.
Absolutely. And it's phenomenal, too, because not only have you beat it, but you beat it, it seems like at the right time, because the early 90s golden age of cartoons is making a comeback. So Animaniacs obviously coming back after 22 years on Hulu this Friday. What was it like getting that call back to bring back to life the voices of Yakko and Pinky?
Really, truly, like winning the lottery. And the remuneration, well, look, I've been rich and I've been poor, rich is better. But the payment is exactly what you and I are discussing. The joy, the thrill of being able to, of knowing 2 years, 2 years ago when we started getting this together, and Mr. Spielberg made this call, literally and figuratively, you guys want to do this again? Firstly, are you blanking kidding me? Steven Spielberg, again.
Yeah.
Look, we're not movie stars. We're good at our jobs, but we don't draw them and we don't write them. But Mr. Spielberg knows that it's the authenticity of the characters that makes these reboots. If they work, that's how they work. So we have this glorious opportunity. Tress McNeil, Dot, Jess Harnell, Wacko, Maurice LaMarche, The Brain, yours truly, Yakko and Pinky, are better than we were 25 years ago. We're all working every day. And to have this opportunity again, yeah, we're working and we're getting a check. But let me tell you something, Paco.
Yeah.
The opportunity to be able to bring so much joy to an exponentially larger audience again, oh, my God, it's impossible to quantify that compliment.
You know, honestly, it really goes to show you how tight-knit that your entire group is from Animaniacs, considering
totally.
All the original voices are back. The original cast is back. That really says something to the camaraderie that you guys had in the studio.
Oh, without question. And by the way, the question then is, do you guys record together? Because, you know, they'll often see B-roll from a new Pixar movie, and you'll see Craig T. Nelson recording by himself.
Yeah.
And I understand that, because a lot of times folks are doing movies and all that. But we always record together, always. Yeah. Maurice and I do Pinky and the Brain together. Tress, Jess, and I do Yakko, Wacko, and Dot together, precisely for the reason you suggested. Not only are we dear friends, we've all been to each other. My dear sweet Tress, still has my son, who's 36 years old, still has his birth picture on her refrigerator. I've known Tress for 41 years. And so not only are we working with people who are your dearest of friends, but it makes the show better, because these actors are better than me. I'm good at my job, but they truly are.
Yeah.
And as you know, a high tide raises all boats. And when you are surrounded by Tress McNeil and Jess Harnell and Frank Welker and Billy West and you name it, it just makes you better, Paco. And I just... I love being around them. So yeah, when we do Animaniacs, we're absolutely together, and that's why it ends up on the screen in such a glorious way.
Hulu released a behind-the-scenes video of you guys together, and you can see the entire process of the three of you just riffing back and forth between each other. It's fascinating. I could talk to you all day about this stuff, but you have had an illustrious career. I remember watching Animaniacs when I was I'm 36 years old, same age as your son. I remember watching Animaniacs when I was in 4th grade and loving every second of it. But your career goes back to Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You voiced G.I. Joe, which was your first TV gig, but your first real voice acting gig was Dexter the Dragon and Bumble the Bear as the Doctor. I tried watching it, Rob. I couldn't get through it, man. I'm sorry.
Well, was it really? This is. Thank you for saying that. Now I'm really old. What was that on?
That was.
It sounds awful.
It looked like it was like a movie, like a really bad movie, and you played the role of a doctor, and that was your first credited role, a voice acting role.
Jesus, I didn't know that, and you're right. Listen, nobody gets out of this business without a couple of dings, and people often ask me. Oh my God, Mr. Paulsen, I bet you wish you hadn't done that. But let me tell you something. Look, we're in the same business. If I cash the check, I got nothing to bitch about. And so, while not everything is going to be Pinky in the Brain, you can't always work where everything works perfectly. But I promise you, and I promise your listeners, nobody starts out to take $1 million of their own or someone else's money to make a piece of junk. However, it does happen, but you're never going to, you're going to hear me say, what? Wow, that must have been weird. I don't remember it, but if they paid me, I'm grateful. And I have fortunately had more than my share of good stuff. And it should be noted that while I'm comfortably good at my job, I put in my 10,000 hours, Paco, I don't write them. I don't draw them. This is a deeply collaborative effort. So when you have that many talented people under the tutelage of Steven Spielberg, shame on you if it doesn't work.
I agree 100%. Rob Paulsen, the voice of Yakko, Pinky, from Animaniacs. Animaniacs premiering this Friday on Hulu. Also, Rob is going to be hosting looks like a Twitter watch party, hashtag Animaniacs watch party. Yeah, I just saw you post this. This is happening on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hashtag Animaniacs watch party. He's going to be live tweeting all night during it. My man, I keep up with you, buddy. I know you. I know your stuff. I love you.
Thank you. You should be my parole officer. That way I can incorporate my favorite. I can incorporate my favorite DJ with making sure my ankle bracelet is nice and tight. So thank you, Paco. That's really cool of you.
One last question, though, Rob. One last question, okay? Narf?
Oh, yeah. Well, it means whatever you want it to mean, doesn't it? I mean, you could slam your foot in the door instead of saying, another word with an F in it. Or you can say, when you see a really beautiful car and you say, Narf! Or you eat your favorite food pellets and you swallow it and you go, Narf! And so, why not Narf?
Rob Paulsen, I know you got to go, my man. I could talk to you forever. Thank you so much for taking the time on the show.
My great pleasure, Paco. Thank you for lowering your journalistic standards for an old Ninja Turtle.
Anytime for Raphael, my friend.
All right, buddy. Cowabunga.
See you, bud. Bye.
Get ready. Your afternoons just got, well, they're basically the same, just with more Paco.